Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub.com. Really mixing up these beginnings, I know. Tonight, I'm going sleeveless for your movie review. That's right. Take it easy, ladies. Tonight's movie is November Criminals. Just saw it come up on Flickster. And interestingly enough, there are no ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. So I am going to bring you the ratings first before Rotten Tomatoes. I am your tomato. So this movie, first of all, it stars, I always can't pronounce his name, Ansel Elgort. I think you guys all know him. Baby Driver he was in, and I like him. I just can't say his name. I wish he'd change it. And then Chloe Grace Moretz. She's in everything nowadays because she's a wonderful actress as well. So two really good actors and actresses in this one. No ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. Now IMDb at a 5.3. So not that great. There's 1,308 reviews at the time of me reviewing this. Give it 1,309 in about an hour and 25 minutes because Kimmel's Irish Pub will rate it. So I'm kind of excited. It's only an hour and 25 minutes, as I just mentioned, and it looks good. Oh, what's it about? Well, what are we watching tonight? So evidently, those two characters, Chloe and Ansel, we'll go with. They are take on their own investigation. So there's a murder that happens in Washington, D.C. with, I believe, one of their friends, and they start investigating it themselves. So that's all I know about it. I'm going to get into it here. That's not always the truth. So we're going to figure it out, and I'll check back in a little bit and let you know how it's going. All right? All right, see you in a bit. Hey, everybody. I want to do a quick check-in here. 49 minutes, 24 seconds. We're still watching November Criminals. And there's not much more to tell besides what we already know. So he was friends. So Ansel, who's Addison, his name is in the movie, is Addison, and Phoebe is her name. And so they're friends, and then they become boyfriend, girlfriend. So that happens very early on in the movie. Also, you're introduced very early to the fact that his mother has died from a brain aneurysm 6 months ago. So, he's dealing with that. Now, as the synopsis says, he's investigating a murder. So he happens to be friends with somebody, and they go in to see him, buy coffee. Next minute, somebody comes in and shoots him, just him. And so it's a murder. And the cops believe it's gang-related, and everybody thinks it's gang-related. It's in Washington, D.C., so it's one of 24 murders within 2 weeks, for them to investigate. So they're chalking it up to that, but Addison does not believe that his friend was involved in gangs. So, he thinks they're going down the wrong road looking for the murderer, and he's trying to help out. So he's doing a lot of different things to, hanging posters and trying to look for evidence and things like that. But he's starting to go down, the darker path to determine who did this and, why and stuff like that. But he really hasn't gotten anywhere so far at 49 minutes. There are some other details I don't want to give to you because I don't know how they'll play out at the end, and I don't want to spoil it. That's the thing I do, is not spoil it for you. So that's, again, not much more there. Seniors trying to go to college, all that stuff. They both have single parents. That doesn't mean a lot, but so far so good. I like the acting. I think that's, I like the actors in this, so I think the acting is very good. And it's an interesting premise. A little slow, I think, for 50 minutes, and we're not sure of a lot besides what I've told you. I can't even give you any more. So let's see what happens. You never know. There's 36 minutes left. This happens a lot. If you watch my channel a lot, the end, everything can change, and it could be the greatest movie ever. But not that it's bad, but we'll see where it goes from here. All right? So sit tight, and I'll be right back. You probably won't miss me. Told you I'd be right back. It seems like I wasn't even gone, right? But no, I watched the rest of the movie. But thanks for sticking it out and waiting to see what happens. So this is the credits now. We're at the credits of November Criminals. I'm going to have to start it all off by saying I think they blew it. I really do. I mean, you got two great actors in this movie. You got somewhat of a decent plot, so his friend was black, and immediately they blame his murder on gang-related stuff. And it's like, okay, and it's a murder mystery kind of thing with a little romance involved. So they they have a little budding romance there. Of course, it's their senior year before they go off to college. A very good idea, but it works for some. I thought there's enough there. There's enough there to really make this pop, and I think, I don't know, they blew it. I don't think they did a great job. They could have, really did. I mean, maybe that wasn't the point of it. Maybe the point of the story wasn't about, why he was murdered and the solving of the murder, because that fell. That flopped for me. That was not good. Maybe it was more about the love story and this was more of the side story, but it didn't play that way in the movie. It played as though, hey, this is a big piece of it. Another thing was, like I mentioned, his mother had died 6 months before that for a brain aneurysm, and the only connection that they saw was, but he couldn't do anything for his mother, obviously, and therefore that's his motivation for trying to help solve this murder. I don't think that's needed. It's not played out enough to make it like, oh, that's it. Oh, that's why he's doing all this. I don't know. I guess that's good enough for a connection if they're gonna do enough with the story. They didn't. I'm going with a 6, just because the acting. I like the acting, and I like the idea. It's there. It's like, these are the movies I wish my job was a little bit different. I like sharing my thoughts with you and my reviews and telling you what I think. I wish the writers, producers, and directors would hire me and say, hey, Jeff, watch this movie. And now I would tell you exactly what I just told everybody here. And maybe come together on a better idea, or at least, say, hey, the way you ended this, the way you solved this murder was lousy. It was pointless. And, instead of, I don't want to spoil it for you if you're going to watch it. But the way that they did it, it didn't make a difference. I don't know how to say it even better. If you watch the movie, you'll be like, yeah, I know what you mean. But without watching it, it's hard for me to say. But it was just silly. It was silly the way that they portrayed why the murder happened versus it being gang related. So anyway, some other quick facts about the movie. Well, he had a beeper instead of a cell phone. That's fine. Not a big deal there. Kinds of add a little different element to the story, because he can't just call somebody. He's got to use landlines or other people's cell phones. A needless detail that maybe they could have utilized. It wasn't utilized at all, except for it was just inconvenient for him. Didn't have anything. And maybe there's some footage on the cutting room floor that really made a difference here, because he had a beeper, not a cell phone. No. They didn't play it out. They had a lot of opportunity. They didn't use that fact. Instead, he just had a beeper, which is annoying. The other piece of it too, so they're friends, right? And they seem like good friends. They even make a joke in the beginning. The girl makes a joke about them too, like, oh, do you guys kiss yet, kind of thing, because they're friends. They seem like they're good friends, and he even makes a reference that he knows him for a long time. However, neither parent, Ansel's parent or the guy who was murdered, the victim's parents, knew of each other. They didn't, not of the parents, but of the kids. So when he goes home and his dad says, I saw there was a murder at the bakery, and he's like, I know you go there a lot. And he's like, did you happen to know the kid? Was he, then they show the kid, they know who it is. And he's like, oh, was he your friend? So obviously Ansel's dad didn't know that he was friends with the victim. And then on the flip side, as he goes through trying to solve the mystery, he meets with the victim's parents, who have no idea who this kid is. So how good of friends are they? That was weird. I guess maybe you don't know, but are they really that good of friends that this guy's going to go out and try and solve a murder that's possibly gang related for a friend that the parents didn't even know they were friends? You know what I mean? So it's like, what? They missed that piece of it too. There's a lot of misses on this one, and I know I'm hypercritical. I was kind of excited. I'm beating Rotten Tomatoes to the punch. I was hoping for a really good one, but they missed it. They missed the mark on this one. A lot of other feedback I could give, but I don't want to spoil it for you, just in case, some of you might like these actors and want to see them anyway, and you're like me, you have to watch them all. But this one fell short. They had an opportunity. They didn't take it. If they would have showed me the version first, I could have said, all of this stuff, and this is the way I think you should do it. Because I have an idea on how you could have made it a little bit better, and not the way that they did, not cookie cutter. But that's it. I'm overcritical. I'm going on and on again, and I think this was a good review, and a review, not a good movie. I'm complimenting myself. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna go with a 6 for this one. Don't bother, but I know some of you might, and it's only an hour and 25 minutes. So, you know, if you want to sit through it, you can. If you do, let me know. Love to hear it. If you don't, let me know if this was helpful. You know, I always like to hear from my fans. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. KimmelsIrishPub.com.